What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So this is going to be your review of 90 Day Fiancé Season 9, Episode 3. So Bilal and Shida, child, look. So they woke up the next day, and she apologized. She said, listen, I'm sorry, if I did a little too much last night. I'm sorry if I was a little, extra. I just was taken off, I can't work, for the first couple of months, I can't work. And I'm just a little nervous, seeing how you living. Are you going to be able to take care of me? And he was like, I wouldn't bring you here if I couldn't take care of you. And, he said in his confessional that he knew he was playing a little joke on her, but he's really disappointed in how she responded to the joke. And I'm like, because it ain't no joke. Like, that, I didn't think what you did was funny. I didn't think it was a joke. I didn't think it was cute. And neither did she. So after he left, he said he had to go run some errands, and he was like, we're going to go meet my mom later on today, so, I'll be back in a little while. So she called her mother, and she said, listen, Mom, I don't know about this situation. Like, she was showing her mom, like, how the ceiling is falling in and all of that. And her mother made some good points. Her mother said, look, love isn't always about money and material things. She said, see if he's lazy. If he's working and he's working towards some things, then give him some grace. But if you see that he lazy and you see that he not doing nothing, you can bring your tail right on back home. The other thing she said the same thing that Shida said. Remember that she said, well, I guess he must have rented all those suits and nice things he had when he came down here. So you clearly was flexing when you went down there to visit her. You was wearing expensive clothes and you had expensive luggage and you had all of these things that would lead somebody to think you had money. So you can't get mad or call yourself testing her to see if she just wants you for your money when that's what you presented. I don't think it was unrealistic for her to feel like she was coming to America and she was going to be moving into even just a nice neighborhood. Like, it ain't have to, like, you live in a really, really nice neighborhood. I think she'd have been okay with just a regular old middle class situation. But you put that on, and I don't think it was fair to put her in that position. Even though I got my eye on her. I think she might have some stuff with her. But in this one, I didn't feel like her reaction was ridiculous. So then later on in the episode, he told her we were going to his mom's house, and she said she was nervous. And as they're driving, of course, she's like, okay, we're moving into nicer neighborhoods. This is a little bit more like what I thought, where I thought I was going before, and they're driving. He gets to the house and he was like, okay, this is really your house. This is really where you're going to be living. And of course she loved it and she's falling out and she was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And she's laughing or whatever. But then I guess it hit her later on like, I don't appreciate what he did. And I mean, what was he calling? What was he testing me? Like, I didn't like that. I'm with you. I didn't like it either. And I didn't think that was, I just didn't think that was funny. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny. So then we have Yvette and Muhammad. Listen, this is going to be a hot-butted mess. Okay, Yvette went and picked Muhammad up from the airport. Muhammad just said in his confessional off the break, listen, I want a woman that's going to take care of me like my mama do. He said, we cool as long as she taking care of me. We good. So she picks him up and takes him to the house. And he talking about how this house is twice the size of his house in Egypt. And how, how nice everything is. She got a little office area set up for him. I'm like, what he need an office for? He ain't got no job. He can't even work. Like, he on a K1 visa. He can't work. So what he need an office for? You just set up an office for him for what? So the more and more I'm listening to him talk, he was like, I like her because she's older. Older women are going to take care of you. I said, yep. And then what cracked me up was she's doing all of this stuff because of, like, she got rid of, like, clothes in her closet, talking about she got to dress more modestly and do this and do that. All these things as it relates to him being Muslim. But he ain't had no problem having sex with her. He was like, well, I think God will understand us living in the same house together. Oh, he going to understand that, but he won't understand her being in a bikini at the beach? Really? It's real funny to me how people be decide what God is or isn't okay with. But anyway, moving on. So she gonna say, well, I got everything done except for I didn't get the bidet. He was like, you didn't get the bidet. She was like, nah. He said, oh, well, I know you'll get it done. Child, he gonna turn around and gonna say in his confessional, I was really upset at at her not getting the bidet. I mean, that's very important. I pray, 5 times a day as a Muslim, and I need to be clean. And we just don't believe that tissue is good enough. And why she wouldn't get that done? Like, I'm very upset, but I just don't want to cause no problems. It's my first night here. Really, sir? She done got this whole house set up for you, and you mad that she didn't get a bidet put in? So then she said, well, I have to order one. Do you know how to put one together? He's talking about something, no. Well, if you want it bad enough, you better get on YouTube or something, figure it out. What you talking about? I was like, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Yvette, you done bit off more than you could chew with this one, because, yeah, he going to give you some problems. He going to give you some problems. And see, he going to be the one that ain't going to go nowhere. He ain't going to go back home. He said his mama happy for him. Yeah, I bet she is, because they saw a mark. They think they got them a good one with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, y'all. So, Jabril and Mioma, listen, that's going to be another problem. She's not feeling it. She wants to live in LA. She don't want no parts of no South Dakota. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Don't nobody want to live in South Dakota. The people who live in South Dakota don't want to live in South Dakota. So I can't be mad at her for not wanting to live in South Dakota. But he keeps trying to convince her that it's going to be cool. And she keeps telling him, no, it's not. I don't want to live here. I want to live in LA. That's what I've told you from the beginning. And I get where he's coming from. Like, listen, we need to save some money. Like, the pandemic hit me kind of hard. I had to move back home with my parents. They live in South Dakota. This is what I had to do. And I need you to work with me because, again, she can't work. And she's not feeling it, right? So then they get to the house. And the mom was like, oh, she seems really nice. I was prepared to not like her because, she had heard some things. But she said she seems really nice. So then the mom starts talking about the house rules. Well, we need y'all to cook and clean and help out around the house. And she was like, I mean, okay, we can do that. He starts getting irritated because he was like, well, Dad, my mom, she started off the break like it's too soon. She just got here to be having these kind of conversations. I don't feel like it's too soon to have the conversation about expectations about what you're going to do in my house. You just got here. We're having dinner. We're breaking bread. We're being pleasant. And then they were asking her questions like, well, what are your plans? What do you want to do now that you're here? I think that's normal get to know you conversation. Like, you literally just moved across the world to live with my son in my basement. I think I can ask you what your plans are. I think I can tell you that living in my house, this is the expectation. I don't feel like the mama was wrong for that. But, child, anyway, everybody got mad. There was a whole little attitude. Kobe and Emily, child. Kobe want to meet his son. Emily trying to go to the hotel and get a little nookie. Now, I understand where Emily is coming from when she says, listen, I don't think you understand that we are literally getting ready to move into a house with my mama, my daddy, my sister, and a baby. We need to go on and get our alone time in now because I don't know the next time we're going to have some alone time. We need to go on and get it in. He was like, I want to see my son. I understand where he's coming from, too. He's never seen his son. It's been 2 years because he was stuck in Africa because of the panorama. He couldn't get here. He was like, I think she's being kind of selfish right now because I want to see my son and she's trying to have sex. I see both sides of the coin. I absolutely understand that this man got off the plane and was ready to see his child. But I also understand that she was like, listen, it's been 2 years. I ain't had none. I've been stuck in the house with a baby, my mama, my daddy, and my sister. I'm telling you what I know. It's going to be a minute. If we don't get it in tonight, it's going to be a minute before we get it in. So he agrees to go to the hotel. So they go out to dinner first, and he notices the fact that it ain't no black people. Because they're like in, I think, Iowa or something. He said, I don't see no black people. She said, yeah, it's not a lot of black people here. He was like, that makes me feel some kind of way. Because he said when he lived in China, because there weren't a lot of black people there in China, that they treated them kind of funny, like almost like they were black because they were dirty. And so he's self-conscious about the fact that there aren't any black people. I could see where he's coming from. I could definitely understand that being a concern. But baby, you there now. I don't know what to tell you, child. You there now. Alright, so let's get to this last couple. Child, was it Arlia and Bimi? So this is a couple that was on 90 Days the Other Way, I believe. And I watched it, but I didn't watch it. I saw like 1 or 2 episodes. So she actually moved to Ethiopia, and now they're moving back to the United States. They had a child, and they have a whole backstory that they gave us clips of it, but you really had to, I guess, in order to get the whole story, you had to kind of follow them on 90 Days the Other Way. 90 Days the Other Way, it flips it. So it's people that move to other countries instead of the people coming to America. So it seems like they were together. They had a baby. The baby got sick, so that she took the baby home for hernia surgery. He was scared that she wasn't going to come back because that's what happened to him the last time. He had a child. The lady was from America. She left and never came back. He ain't seen his child. So so his way of dealing with it was to shut down and shut her out. He stopped answering her phone calls. He was out partying and in clubs and stuff, probably doing some other things. So they kind of got back together, and she said, listen, I'm never going to keep you from your child. If me and you don't work out, that's fine. But I'm not moving my child to Ethiopia. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. So she agreed to come back to Ethiopia just to get the paperwork for him to get the K-1 visa to come back to America. So he's got the visa. And they're supposed to be leaving in 2 days. But here go the problem. He didn't tell nobody. He hasn't told his friends. He hasn't told his family. He hasn't told anything. Now, his family already has a bad relationship with her. So you're creating a worse situation by not telling them about her. So what ended up happening was he had album release, a video release party or some shit, and invited everybody there. So they watched his video, and it was a celebration. And then he told all of them that he was leaving the next day to go to America. Well, of course, they're upset. They're mad. And they actually end up blaming her. They're like, see, she did this. She manipulated him. She's making him go to America. Her. She. And she was like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. And they were like, well, why didn't you tell us if you call yourself our sister? She was like, well, that was his job to tell y'all. That's your brother. Well, if you call us your sister to your family too, then you should have told us. And they were like, we've never treated you bad. She was like, what universe are you living in that you didn't treat me bad? Like, you treated me real bad. So, child, the sister to end up throwing the wine in the girl's face and storming out of the party. And of course, everybody's upset. But my thing is, y'all mad at the wrong person. He the one that didn't tell y'all. He's literally getting on a plane the next day, and he didn't tell y'all nothing. It's a mess. Anyway, that's what happened. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.